Hello everyone and a warm welcome back. I hope you're all doing well. Yes, I know we're in the Xcraft again. I love flying this thing. Gonna do something a little different though. I don't know if I'm gonna show you the whole flight. It is rather cloudy here. We're at Vancouver International Airport. Surprise, surprise. Put me in the wrong place at the gate, but I mean, whatever. We're flying Air Canada Express or Jazz flight 529 non-stop from Vancouver International into a place I haven't flown into on the channel before. Airports are default. It's more about I want to see how this handles an approach I normally don't do. Up until now, you've seen me going into airports with 10,000, 12,000 foot runways. We're going to be going into an airport with just under 6,000 feet of usable runway. We are on live weather, live time. It's not the greatest. It's kind of a mixed bag. Even some thunderstorms been reported over kind of to the north up by the Sunshine Coast and all that. Not so sunny today. We are going to be doing an RNAV GNSS approach into runway 31 at Prince Rupert. So I'm going to finish setting us up and everything like that. Get us pushed back. We're taking off 26 right, which is right over there. It's kind of wet. Not brutal, so I selected medium for the takeoff conditions. Not poor. They're not poor, but they're not phenomenal. Xenviro is in use. AutoOrtho is in use. Simheaven is in use. Global Forest is in use. Of course, I'll be using better pushback and TCAS and all that kind of stuff. One thing I did do is I tuned the radios all to 1.108.00. When doing an RNAV, which is a GPS approach, you have to make sure that you do not have any risk of tuning an ILS at another runway that's anywhere around where you're flying. So I've chosen a frequency that I know I should not pick up any other radio signals. So I'm going to be using a GPS approach. It is technically considered a category 1. So setting the minimums, setting baro, all that are pretty important for it. And so we're using Xenviro for the flight. I am glad to have you on board. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, ring the bell. You know the whole thing. Links to what I'm using is down in the description below. Click show more. You can also help support the channel so we can keep getting new aircraft and add-ons and stuff to show you. 2 ways. Xplane.org gift card. A lot of people do tend to, well, not a lot, but you know, people tend to favor that one. Or PayPal, one-time donation. Either way, include your YouTube username. I will give you a shout out in a future video. And if you want to get your own copy of the Xcraft Embraer 170 we are flying, or any of them, they will be linked down below. We're agenda free. I do not care if you buy or use anything that I show you. A lot of freeware is in use today, but also some payware with Xenviro and this aircraft. Between the two of them, they could easily cost you $120. Well, maybe depends where you live, but like $100 between Xenviro and this. Well, I mean, this aircraft is like $70 alone for a single aircraft. Hopefully, got a donation the other day. Yeah, maybe if I get another one, I'll chip in $20 for my own money, and I'm going to buy the entire fleet of them. I do like these. Xcrafts, phenomenal developer of over 10 years in Xplane. Marco and his team do phenomenal work. This is not sponsored in any way. In the Flight Sim Awards, I voted for Xcraft as Payware developer. when it came to X-Plane. Nothing against toll list or flight factor or anything else like that. I love my 777. But the amount of stuff that Marco over the decades has donated to the community, all kinds of stuff. So anyway, I'll see you on the runway. Thanks for flying along with me. And here we are, heading over to the runway. Lovely puddling work and all that, got to admit. Kind of like it. Throttles are at idle. This aircraft will get away from you in a hurry. If you do not stay on top of it. As you can see, it's kind of a mishmash of a day. It's not horrible, but not great. Is there any snow out at Vancouver International? I highly doubt it. We had a stink load of rain. Although, you know, it is out in the water, so it's hard to say. But, I mean, it's around 9 degrees right now. Even at night, it's not going below about 6. Give or take. Do I want to do a mid-field takeoff kind of thing? I mean, I don't. This aircraft doesn't need, you know, the length of this runway at all. We'll take the first on ramp kind of thing, if you wish. Yeah, whatever they call them. It's even here, it's not going to be a short field takeoff. Here we go. That's all on, that's all on. Let's get you on, you on, you on. Strobes on. Ah, awesome. Love this aircraft, man. I'm telling you. This thing is so much fun to fly. I think I may have fallen, like I'm basically, like for me this aircraft like just follows my logic flow. Because I prefer Airbus over Boeing. So this is like so, it's more Airbus than Airbus is in some ways. It's unreal. Like this thing is very highly automated.
Approaching
you can still take
26
manual control
right.
of it like you can any aircraft. I kind of want to get the whole fleet of these, truth be told. I think there's 5 of them, or 6 in the family, something like that. And here we go, and now...
On runway 26 right.
Thank you, Xcrafts. I look forward to you hollering at me when I come in for a landing later on, with bated breath. She loves screaming at me. Okay. Auto throttle, looking for TO. TO is there. Roll TO, LNAV VNAV 34. 420 is minimum for the first turn. Close shields. No, 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 no. Don't do that. Quick check of the flows. No lights on. Door locked. Up to the first notch. Looking for both engines stabilized. fuel flow, Ryzen ITT, which we have. RTO is set. Status Toga, ECS is alive. Hold it a little bit. Auto throttle is kicked in. Yes, it's the paid version. This is the paid version. There is no free version of 170. One rotate.
Rotate. V2.
Oh, what a beautiful aircraft. Back inside before I kill myself and all the passengers. LNAV, flight level change, speed on elevator, it's active, 210 set. Get that flap up. Flats and flats. Clean. Crossing, I think it's 3,000. Go to 250. Outside, too pretty. Not. It's ugly. Well, we're getting a little bit of a breakout, so to speak. Ortho is looking good. Vancouver, I don't know why. It causes a frame rate hit. You can't even see the city unless you zoom right in. I mean, I don't get it. I hope they fix that in 12.1. By the way, this is X12.1.4. No longer release candidate beta. It is the full release. I am using the Xcrafts version for the 170 2.0.0 release candidate 2. Came out over the weekend. I updated it. Make sure you use the Skunkcraft updater. You must have version 3.2. of the Skunkcraft updater. Use the standalone one, or you will not necessarily get a good install. And of course you will have to reactivate your aircraft, so just have the store page open from where you bought the aircraft and get ready to copy paste in your activation code. And then just reload the art for the aircraft. I usually just completely reboot X-Plane itself. But you can just reload the current aircraft and art, or skip the art if you wish. Whichever you prefer. And this thing climbs like a champ. As you see, we're already at 10,000. That's landing lights off. Logo off. That's all good.
This aircraft is equipped with 2 lavatories, one each located in the front and rear of the cabin. Please do not congregate in the aisle area around the galley or lavatory. Please keep your seatbelt fastened at all times while seated, and take caution when opening overhead compartments, as contents may have shifted during takeoff. We would like to take a moment to tell you about an exciting offer on board today's flight to apply for our SkyMiles credit card. You can earn up to 50,000 SkyMiles on qualifying purchases. You can also enjoy other card member benefits, including a free checked bag and priority boarding. Details on this offer are available inside the application, and it only takes minutes to apply. In a few minutes, I will be serving a variety of complimentary drinks. Wine, craft beer, alcoholic beverages
and all that. For your firstborn and a kidney, you could get a beer. Yeah, I don't think we're going to see it, actually. So the aircraft is a lot of fun. There's still stuff to be done on it. It has SimBrief integration, just so you know. It does have tablets. I just have them off because I don't really need to see them right now until I get to here. It does have its own performance calculators and all that. No, once we get that in there. But we should be able to like it. Oh, it's clear. Cool. Well, we'll go with dry. Flat 5. Yeah, that should be. Icing will not be required. Wind. I can always correct them later on. But it gives me an idea. This is not a particularly long flight. Temperature is 8 degrees Celsius. And we'll just leave it there, and then I just got to put in my landing gear, which I will calculate using this. By the way, if you want the full recap stuff back, you can get it. It is a button that is kind of hard to use. Make sure you don't end up hitting the auto throttle disconnect button. Otherwise, you'll send aircraft and all kinds of. So as you can see, I can see my close stroke. And I'll just calculate it when I'm, you know, maybe 40 miles from top of the center. I like using the scroll wheel down here.
Altimeter setting.
Okay. So, there we go. See some mountains. Xenviro was hanging on for a breeze for some reason. There we go. Now it's going back up. Yeah, as you can see, it's pretty cool. This really needs an update. Like this thing is, I don't know what it's like 1.34. I think it's compatible with like XP12.1.4 or whatever. We're on like going on to 1.5. It is so far behind. I know one of the main developers of it had personal issues come up. I get that, but they've got to get back on it because, you know, this is not a cheap environment replacement. It does a lot more than Active Sky. It replaces the lighting, all the clouds, the atmospherics, the particle effects, you know, particulate matter in the atmosphere. Like it does a lot. But it's not cheap, you know, compared to other weather add-ons and such. And I hope they can get the production back on track. Because like even 12.1.3 came out months ago. And just so you know, Xenviro never supports betas. But I mean, not having it up to date for 12.1.3, I'm not sure what to say. And now 1.4 is stable. So hopefully they can target 1.4. And if they do, I will not be going into the beta channel for X12 for .5. I'll wait and see what it's adding and stuff like that. Because I would much sooner be flying with Xenviro than Active Sky or anything else. Need to do some tuning in it though. But anyway, since it is cloudy and overcast and that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring you back And remind you one last time to do the YouTube things. You know what they are, the like to share and all that. You can click show more. You can find everything, most everything I'm using down in the description below. This is accurate. It is really, the clouds keep like building up and, you know, blocking out a lot. And then the ceiling keeps changing and stuff. It's not a great day, put it that way, but it's Monday. Mondays are never great anyway. Want to thank you for flying along with me. I'll see you around top of descent. Unless we get some really pretty shots of the mountain because we got clearer weather. Thanks for flying along. We'll see you in a bit. And just a little update for you. Kind of seeing stuff, but, you know, not really. Aircraft performing like a dream. We're at our cruise altitude, flight level 340, or 34,000 feet. It's performing great. I put in my barrel for a GNSS. You want to use barrel, not radio, because you're not tuning a radio. You're using GPS, but you're basically using what is inside here for your approach. Oh, excuse me. I typically use barrel anyway, as a rule. Of course, make sure you update your METAR before you are, coming into land. Make sure it doesn't change. It may have changed one, like 290903 or 290901. That kind of stuff, 9 or 0 is not going to be a huge difference. But you definitely don't want to be reading like a 2-hour-old METAR and ATIS when you're going to do an approach like this. It also implies that when you get to basically minimums, not only do you have clear unobstructed view of the runway you will be landing on, you have identified it, it's clear of obstruction. You also disconnect the autopilot and auto throttle. And you fly the last little bit doing kind of visual. It's been a while since I've done a GNS approach, and I typically do LPVs and stuff like that in the Xevo. I want to see how the Embraer does it. So hopefully I don't mess it up. I'm going to be looking for FPA and such down here, not glide slope, because there is no glide slope. Going forward in the future, I can see GNS approaches, RNAVs, LPV, etc. becoming far more prevalent. ILSs are very expensive. They need to be calibrated and serviced more frequently than I think pilots and airlines and everything else would like. And as GPS gets that much more accurate and responsive, and that I can see it like NDBs completely going away, and like GPS is going to be the one thing to rule everything. However, there is a downside to it, of course, if you're in a conflict area, because one of the first things they jam is GPS, because that is also what weapons use for targeting, is GPS. So I don't know how they're going to square that circle, really. to be able to rely solely on basically using, you know, GPS and nothing but RNAV LPVs, GNSS, etc. Type approaches going forward, because, you know, GPS satellites can be jammed. Now, does the average person have access to that? Well, obviously no. But every country does. So, I don't know. We'll see. And here we go. Going to make a slight turn, and then it's not quite a straight-in approach, but pretty close to it. So it's going to be the best chance. New METAR, perfect. 2999er. Okay, so it only changed one. Okay, cool. Back to here. Go here. Just to be $27,560 with a 36 knot headwind. I'm going to say 27,000. Well, let's do 26,900. Enter. Compute. Okay, we got that. Actually, it's going down a little quicker than I thought. That's because unless this, I want to try get it as close as possible. Okay, dry. No reports of rain. Actually reporting clear skies at the airport. Yeah, I'll believe that when I see it. Xenviro is just not keeping up. I may switch to default live weather. We'll see. What have I got for settings for it? Let me see. Okay. Well, we'll see. Hopefully it clears up as we get a bit closer. I mean, we are still 130, 40 miles away, something like that. How far away? 135. Not a bad guess, baby. So, I'll bring you back. I've got everything set up. That is as close to the airport elevation as I can get. I think you're actually supposed to use the minimum though. Let's do 400. Safe side, and I'll use the taxi chart for that. Course heading would be 312. Course will set itself. As you can see, it's pretty much almost straight in. And it's given us that, well, let's just stay here. And I don't know if I gave them a shout out or not. But warm welcome to Bob FS88. Thank you. I hope you enjoy your stay with us and that. And a look here at the Xcrafts Embraer 170. Hopefully in the next month I'll be, I'll have enough donations, a little bit of my own money and that. And I'm going to buy the entire fleet. Because these are a ton of fun to fly. And they can get you into, like airports that you normally wouldn't get to fly into. Like you can fly anything into Boise or Seattle or, Pineda or whatever. But going into a Latte or something like that, it's like, yeah, no, you're not taking an A320 or an A321. Just not going to do it. This might do it. With full reverse and get the brakes on there. And this does have pretty good brakes, I have to admit. And it's coming down. LNAV path. Still speed on thrust, 280 in the descent. And you can see your descent profile right there. I've got terrain on the map. The weather radar does not work. And there's your vertical deviation indicator. This is not an ILS. And again, as you see, I manually tuned all the radios to 108. So it's not picking up anything. You're not going to get any of the typical indications of an ILS during this type of approach. It's why it's critical having, your flight plan is accurate. You've got no brakes in it, nothing like that, because you can't be configuring this stuff as you're like, just winging it. And it's like, yeah, I'll do it all when I'm 10 miles out. No. The aircraft needs time. That's not going to work. And having accurate weather information, conditions at the fields, which are critical regardless, let's be honest, but and it's ascending beautifully. I may have gone a little light. What auto brake do I want to use? I'm going to use high simply because it's a 6,000 foot runway. Just under, I think. It's 6,000 feet. Well, we might be able medium. Might be able to get away with medium and get on those reverses. Everything else is looking fine. Let's do a last check up top as well. Everything is looking good. No lights. Embraer uses what's known as the dark philosophy. So do not think your aircraft is broken or like these switches don't work. Because at night you push one of these buttons and it's like, well, where's the light? How do I know it's active? Your instruments, your primary flight display, your PFD and that show you everything you need to know. Embraer's philosophy is pilots should be paying more attention to all this kind of information than fiddling and farting around going, is that light on? Is it off? They want your eyes focused on, what the aircraft is doing, not whether or not a switch is active. You can tell all up here in the enunciator part as to whether or not you have auto throttle armed or is active, or autopilot, or anything of that nature. Okay, let's get heated there, heated there. And I think I've got everything I need there. Oh, I know one thing I need to do. Download link, compute, send to the FMS, load these speeds, back to the flight plan. You can go back to there. And I'll pull that back up again in a minute. And now let's just, yeah, I'm not sold on Xenviro right now. Says clear skies. Not looking too clear to me. But we are still a ways out here. Oh, how far are we? 80-ish miles, so maybe it just hasn't figured them out. Like pulled it. Because it doesn't really, you know, it's like, well, 80 miles away the weather can be. And that's true. I mean, I'll take it back for now. That was weird. Hit the wrong key on my keyboard. Now it's starting to clear up a bit. Okay. Alright. I take it back, Magnus. We'll see how she does. We're on profile, so that's the main thing. I'll zoom you in a bit more. And of course, all of these pop out if you need them. Like you literally can create your own little panel over here. Can you drag them over to another screen? I am not sure. I do have another screen. Well, I actually have a couple of them. But I'm typically perfectly fine with these as is. There we go. You know, so you can get them, you know, or you could put them up here, I guess, or something like that. I don't know if you really want to. But it's handy. And you can just click on those or right click the actual little panel there and it will close. I think I need to go see an eye, nose, and throat doctor. Finally got my voice somewhat back and all that, and now I keep getting like, feels like I swallowed a fur ball. I'm thinking these should have some more snow on them than that, but altimeter, and the altimeter was 29er. Regardless, it still looks pretty out, don't get me wrong. Again, we are on live time, live weather. Xenviro is in use. AutoOrtho is in use. Simheaven. I have Simheaven the World. I have Ortho the World. Also, Global Forest version 2.2.0, I think it is also running. I have completely disabled the forest in Simheaven and 3D vegetation of X-Plane 12. I let Global Forest and that deal with all of it. Because, quite frankly, it just looks a heck of a lot better. I don't know what Austin was showing before X-Plane 12 came out when it came to the trees and all, but I tell you, I've rarely, if ever, seen any trees that look like that when I've been flying this sim for the last 2.5 years. And I get some comments, you know, about people, you know, going, cool, you're flying X-Plane. We only do X-Plane. It's the only sim I fly. Do I own 2020? Yes. But I deleted it a while back. Over a year or more. I got rid of it. Still own it. Not installed. Still own P3D Sync version 4. Not installed. Not too shabby. Performance is pretty good, but again, of course, you know, Prince Rupert is not the actual, you know, a booming metropolis. "48 miles to the airport. At 20, I'll want to go to 210. Probably it's going to slow to 250 anyways because of 10,000 feet, so we'll see how she handles this. I don't want to have to intervene other than disconnecting the autopilot and the auto throttle. That's the only thing I want to be doing. If I remember correctly, on the Embraers, the flight directors disengage and turn off once wheels are down and you've got below a certain speed. It can't be the second your wheels touch down, because just because your wheel is touched down doesn't mean it's like, God, we're not going to be able to land too long. It's like, go around. You know, so you can't do it just based on, well, the wheel touched, so I'm turning the flight directors off. Because the approach is different, you do not need to do like approach, you know, kind of thing. And I think I do need to push the VL. I'm not sure. I'll be able to tell by what I see down here. Well, there's no report of clouds anywhere around the area, but okay. Well, put it this way, it looks dang pretty. Yeah, some snow up on the higher peaks. I mean, it is 9 degrees up here. Oh, that's gorgeous. Beautiful reflections. They did such a great job on this aircraft, Marco and the team. Even the free, by the way, there are 2 free E-jets. They don't have functional VNAV, you know, kind of thing. And that. They don't have all the bells and whistles like this does and that. But you can get a taste as to whether or not these kind of aircraft are for you or not. Some people don't like these kind of aircraft. It's like, too much automation for my liking. or they just like the Boeing philosophy and such. You know, and that's perfectly fine. I fly all of them on the channel. Airbus and Boeing and Embraers. You won't see me fly passenger kind of jet. Well, other than that one I've got. What is that one I've got? It's kind of like a tiny Honda jet kind of thing. It's kind of interesting. But not my cup of tea. I'm not into... HD Sim is all about, especially things like the longitudes, the citations, the challengers, you know, rears, like that. He's, not that he doesn't fly other stuff, but I mean, he loves those personal sort of commuter jet things. They're just not for me. Well, you should get the landing lights on, bud. That's all good. Take you to 10. ISOing approach speeds. Yes, activate approach speeds, thank you. How far am I out? 26 nautical miles. It's doing well. I can't do anything until, what is that approach fix? Taxes. No. Muruk, which I will be flying over, is my initial approach fix. And then we go here. How close am I? 7 miles out. I think I need to push this. I'm going to hold off for a second. I don't want to push it too soon, and then it's like, you shouldn't have pushed it. I mean, I have cleared it to go down to 400 feet, so, absolutely lovely. Where are we at? So this is what I really want. Is you. 20 nautical miles, 200, that's fine. When I get to here, pretty much, I am going to go flaps 1, which is a little early. You typically do it about 13 nautical miles out. Did I do that too soon, maybe? Do I do the VNAV? No, I do that. Well, it's flashing flight path out, dude, so I'm going to say it's doing what it needs to do. And I can monitor it here. Now, as I said, do not expect a whole, you know, thing. No, we're going off the FMS. That's what I need to do. You gonna turn? Or did I mess it up? Ah, there we go. Glide path. That's what I was looking for. Now it'll bring me over. Flap swing. 13 nautical miles out. LNAV glide path. Should take us down. Oh, this is going to be fun. Here's the airport up ahead. Okay, it's got a localizer of sorts. Flaps 2 at 10 miles out. Take us to 160. That way we can get the port in the back open, the flap, and that. It's doing it good. So far, so good. Has LNAV and glide path. It already knows what the GPS heading of the runway is, so 8 nautical miles, 150. Gear coming down. Well, I mean, well, it's clear at this altitude. Okay. I want you about there so I can see this. And we'll get you on and you on. And I chose what? Flaps 5, right? Flaps 5. We are configured. I did do flaps 5, right? Yeah. Okay. Just to be on the safe side. It's coming down beautifully. Again, we are doing LPV. RNAV GNSS approach. Ooh, I may need to go another flap. That's getting ridiculously low. Oh, what a profile. Look how gorgeous it is up here, man. Incredible fishing. Absolutely incredible fishing. Tons of wildlife. I think it has a last minute shift on the approach.
Approaching 3-1.
Doing well.
Approaching minimums.
Autopilot.
My aircraft.
Minimums. Minimums.
Throttle.
My throttles. not the best view.
200. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I did that a little hard. Oh, I'm really happy with that. Look at those trees, man. That's why I don't use the X-plane stuff.
Auto brake.
Oh, I'm happy with that. That went well. Well, I mean, for me, okay, like for the way I normally land, that went pretty good. And we do come in on an angle, so I'll go to the end, because otherwise I'll have a heck of a time trying to turn in. Not quite center line, but this aircraft performed that beautifully. Consistent 600 feet per minute. You know, once I figured out you got to actually hit the approach to activate the LPV thing, you know, baby steps, folks, baby steps. Even though I've been flight simming for 30 years, I forget stuff all the time. Hey, it's a curse of old age. Look forward to it, kids. But that said, again, like, you know, the airport is default. There might be an X-Plane 11 mod for this. I'm not sure. But for me, it's about like the journey and the destination. You know, this is a beautiful region in British Columbia. You're just to the south of the Anchorage FIR and Ketchikan, Alaska, and all that. You know, so if you wanted to take a beach 1900 and go up into Sitka or Ketchikan and that, wouldn't be that long a flight. Strobe lights off, nose light, landing lights off. Those can stay on. Start the APU. Doing them. And as you see, the flight directors automatically disengage. And we'll get them flaps up. Airport looks like it could probably use a flatten. Oh yeah. The trees are spectacular. There we go. What is that? A Canadair thing? CRJ or something like that? I don't know. It's kind of cool. I want one. Because I don't think MD-80s and that are getting up here. Outside. So, there you go, folks. I really enjoyed the flight. So glad that I kind of finally hit the right button in the right order, sort of. You know, and it flew that GNS, the RNAV approach, absolutely like a champ. And I'm really pleased with the touchdown. Other than I came off the throttle a little too quick once the main gear touched down, and the nose slammed down way too hard. So, yeah. Always room for improvement in my flights. So, if you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, ring the bell. You get notified when my videos go live. Yes, not really a lot of these kind of aircraft land up here. It's more GA stuff. If you click show more, you will see where you can get most everything I used for the flight. The airports are default, the weather engine, and the aircraft were not. Until the next time, folks, I want you to, let's go up quick. We'll take you up real quick. It really is a gorgeous area to fly. And if you love flying float planes like I do, this is a paradise. Because even in these mountains there are lakes. Only been here once. Was for a protest, if I recall, about doing clear cutting. I know. Sorry. Yahoo! Diary of a Misspent Youth. Until the next time, folks, I want you to stay safe, be kind to one another, keep the blue side up, fly something different for once, get out of your comfort zone, go out, explore the planet. It's all modeled for you. Just download the sceneries and have yourself a ball in whatever sim that you prefer to fly. Stay safe, be kind, keep the blue side up, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Take care. Have a great week. God bless. We'll see you soon.